What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? This is Gangster Astrology and Rap Beef, and we back at you again. This is the second attempt at going live. Yesterday we popped it off good. We had my man that was in the building, um, and so yeah, so we about to get to it. We about to get to it, and let's do it and stay fluid. So before we go into it, let's let's just do a quick overview of my man Dawg Face Colorone video. Dawg Face Colorone. All right, I'm still working with this Joker, so I need to I'm still working with it, still trying to still figuring out how this thing go. Let's see, hold on.
Here's what's popping, people. My name is Dawg Face Colorone. This is What's in the News, special segment of Dawg Face TV live on YouTube. A lot of shit in the news today, man. A lot of shit in the news today, or this week, I should say. One of the biggest stories, it touches home because I'm from Detroit, so it's always a story when Eminem is involved in this shit somehow, some way. This segment is sponsored by Area 51, one of the dopest hookah and tobacco spots in the metropolitan Detroit area. The address is 171 northbound Gratiot Avenue up in Mount Clemens. What's up, all my Mount Clemens family, man? Y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody at Area 51, Juan, Jones, my man D. Listen, man, if you're looking for a quality hookah and tobacco spot, Area 51, Mount Clemens, Michigan. It's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops outside the city of Detroit. Cool place to be, cool place to hang out. Really professional staff, really great conversations, man. Beautiful products.
So before I go on, just to give y'all a little and let me slow them down, but just to give y'all a little background, Dawg Face TV. Dawg Face did a very nice extensive bit. For anybody that know me, that's been following my page, I know that I did 24 years straight from the age of 17 to the age of 41, a couple of months before I turned 42. And so for anybody that did a substantial amount of time, I got utmost respect, whether I agree with all of their opinions or I don't agree with their opinions. I got the utmost respect for their opinion. I got respect for everybody's opinions, but it's a certain thing that come from the people that's been where I've been, that's been chained down, that's been inside of a cage, that's been chained up, that's been involved in what is legal slavery up under the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. So I give it up to him.
Have a full line of tobacco and hookah, everything. Real dope spot. And be some bad bitches up there too. And be some bad bitches. It's always good to have bad bitches in and around motherfucking place of business. Hey, listen. Benzino versus Eminem. Like I mentioned earlier, the story hits close to home because I'm representing the city of Detroit. Eminem is a member of Detroit's hip hop community, right? Um, whether you like him, don't like him, whether you think he's done everything or done nothing. Um, my opinion is kind of like reshaping itself based on me being in touch with people who were actually in the same area, the same spaces during the same time period that Eminem was doing what he was doing. He was coming up, making his name for himself, right? Spoke to a couple of different people who told me that the story about what Eminem has done for Detroit is really an incomplete story. We're looking at it through the eyes of what rappers he's put on, right? But there's more to the story of Eminem besides the Obi Trices, the D12s, and everybody else that he may have affected or helped or whatever the case may be. The Benzino thing is it's an interesting twist because whether you like Benzino or not, this is not a question about whether you like him or not. This is a question about it's not even a question about the this song he came.
So look, I'm interested in what he got to say because he speak flat out, and he usually don't hold no bars, and he pretty much call it down the middle. Even though it's been a couple things that I might have disagreed with him on, for the most part, I say he pretty much call it down the middle.
Came out with against Eminem or him and Eminem going back and forth. None of that's the factor. None of that's a factor for me. The issue is Benzino, he put on the floor, and this is a story that people from Detroit, if you're young, you don't know, but if you're older, you have heard the stories about Eminem 25 years ago making diss songs against black people, referring to black people as being not smart, drawing the comparison between black women and white women, saying that basically black women ain't shit, dirty, dusty. No, basically calling niggas monkeys and referring to us as monkeys. And
So now I touched on this in I think my first reaction to that, right? Um, and I'm gonna say my spiel until he get through, and maybe somebody will come in, maybe not, but if not, then y'all catch it on a recording. But I touched on this, and here's the thing. Before let me interject. So apparently, some friends of Eminem gave Benzino way back, and I believe it was probably like 2003 or something like that, right? They gave Benzino an hour's worth of songs of Eminem using racial epithets, flat out racism, you know, using the N word, not the N-I-double-G-A, but the N-I-double-G-E-R. Um, Speaking down on black women. Now, in fairness, at the time, Ice Cube had a song out that was called I Ain't the One. And so that made it popular to down speak on them. But I'm not about take up for them, but I'm giving you a context of the time frame and the period that this was in. But apparently he made a whole hours diss track with all of these songs on there. And then when Benzino got ready to put it out inside of the Source magazine, they end up going to court. And when they went to court, they say that they ruled in Benzino's favor, but they only told him that he can use, I believe it was like less than a minute of a whole hour's worth of what he's heard. So when people talk about him dealing with the racial issue and all of this and that, always remember, you don't know what he heard during that whole hour. You don't know what he heard during that whole hour. Um, I'm not saying should Eminem be canceled. Let's let him play. Let's let him go.
all kinds of other racial epithets he was aimed at black people, right? When he was questioned about this 20 plus years ago, his excuse was that he went through or he was dating a black girl, and after the breakup, he became emotional about the breakup. And as a result of him being emotional about the breakup, he went to a long diatribe about, a lot of anti-black sentiment on wax. He made songs that specifically targeted how stupid and how monkey-like both black men and black women were. When it comes to Benzino putting that on the floor, it's fair because Benzino is not lying. It's true. This is something that Eminem did do. You can't deny it. You can't say it didn't happen. It wasn't AI. It wasn't some clone of Eminem. He did make these records. He did say exactly what Benzino said he said. He was exposed doing it. When asked about why he did it, he talked about the heartbreak he had suffered as a result of dating a black girl who had then kind of like left him or cheated on him or whatever the case may be. This is before he became as big as he is now, of course. Subsequently, we've had the who's who of Detroit.
Hey, don't forget, this is Dawg Face TV. Take a look at his channel. I'll leave a link in there once we get done doing this. This is my first time on StreamYard. I actually went and paid for this joker, instead of doing a free version, because I want to try to give y'all the best that I can give y'all, to invest a little bit in it. But I will put the link in there so you can go check the whole video out. But this is Dawg Face TV.
Detroit's hip hop community come to the table, come to bat, come to the microphone on Eminem's behalf. Most notably, we had Ice Rare Vezo step up to kind of like say something in the defense of Eminem. And I don't want to say that he was defending Eminem as it relates to his feud with Benzino. I think it was more along the lines of, hey, Benzino, I'm from Detroit. Eminem represents Detroit. So you put my name in the song, you mentioned me, you made mention of me. Don't use me in your fight against Eminem because I'm from Detroit, he's from Detroit. I'm never going to go against the grain to acknowledge up or down anything that you're saying as it relates to him. Whatever issue you have with Eminem, I think it's fair to say that Vezo's point was and is whatever issue you got with him, you can have it. Vez is not saying that some of the things that Eminem, that Benzino is alleging, it's not even an allegation. He's not alleging shit. Eminem did say, refer to black people as monkeys and niggers and dirty and unintelligent. So that's not even a point of contention here. I think Vez's point was, hey, you're not going to use me in your battle with Eminem. Whatever you're saying is what you're saying. Just don't use me in your conflict with Eminem. I'm of the opinion that everything is fair game. Vance has been one of the most vocal people in terms of articulating what his understanding or what his vantage point or viewpoint of what Eminem has or hasn't done for the city of Detroit. So I think it was a fair target. I think it was a fair target for Benzino to study, because that's the whole thing about battle rapping, right? We ain't fighting, we ain't shooting. This ain't no gangster shit. This is just really what it is, right?
Man, and that's what it is, right? That's what it is. And that's what a lot of people seem to miss. They think that if something make the person that they rooting for in the battle look bad, then they come up with 50,000 reasons as to why that's off limits or why that shouldn't be said. But in battle rapping, every and anything goes. That's how it was from the beginning. That's how it is now. And the only people that come to make excuses is the ones that's leaning too far to the left or too far to the right. But the ones that's calling it down the middle, I don't care if you're talking about ghostwriters. I don't care if you're talking about gimmicks. I don't care if you're talking about teams and battle rapping through the history, through the years. And I'm talking about Roxanne Shante. I'm talking about UTFO. I'm talking about Lil Kim and Foxy Brown. I'm talking about Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J. But let me let him go.
I think it's a fair point for Benzino to bring up these things and then draw a contrast between some of the things that some of the most vocal, some of the most visible people on Detroit's hip hop scene has chimed in and weighed in about Eminem's relationship to Detroit. So I think it's fair. I don't think that Benzino was out of line by because that's what that's what rapping is all about. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, you learn whatever you can learn about somebody. and then you tap into whoever you think is friendly to your particular cause, and then you just chime in on that shit.
So for anybody coming in, we got Dawg Face, Coloran from Dawg Face TV, fresh out of Detroit. Speaking on the Eminem situation, everybody seemed to be up under the impression that everybody in Detroit is being blindsided, or just putting on the biased lens and just saying everything in favor of Eminem and everything antagonistic towards Benzino, and that's not what it is. You got a lot of people that is doing that, but you got some people that's keeping it 100, and that's what we getting on Dawg Face on.
People, I've been getting hundreds of DMs and text messages and comments on my YouTube channel asking me to kind of like weigh in on this shit. My position is this: it's clear. Is it fair for people to bring up what Eminem did 25, 30 years ago? Was it fair for people to bring up what R. Kelly did? Was it fair for people to bring up what Cuba Gooding Jr. did? Was it fair for people to bring up what Diddy did? Was it fair to bring up, or is it fair to bring up what Bill Cosby did or was alleged to do? Is it fair for people to bring up what Michael Jackson did, right? These are all kind of like not the same thing, but not too far apart. Solid Baby, one of Detroit's most popular rappers, somebody dug into his background and found that he had made some anti-gay tweets. This is before he actually blew up to become what we know him as now. And people tried to hold his feet to the fire and saying that he made some anti-gay. The LGBT community weighed in on it and tried to get out on him and tried to kind of like counsel him out because he made those statements 5, 6, 7 years before he actually became famous in the eyes of the general public. Everything is fair game, especially things of that nature, especially when we're talking about race, right? And I'm not comparing the LGBT cause to race, because you can't take blackness on and off. You can't hide the fact that you're black. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Eminem made these statements. I don't think it's fair for anybody in 2024 to talk about how impactful or how hurtful what Eminem said and did. I think we have to weigh in on the impact and the hurt and the shame that it caused people during the time that those records, had surfaced. It hit the floor, right? You can't say that being called a nigger with the ER, no big deal, because he wasn't talking about you. So for all you niggas trying to get him a pass on the whole nigger shit and the whole monkey shit, the whole we're unintelligent, we're dirty shit, you can't give him no pass, no shit like that, man. You niggas is killing each other for less than that. He said, listen, Eminem, he has done things, he's helped out. You supposed to, motherfucker. And we understand that you're supposed to, especially because you would not be where you are now had it not been for the influence of hip hop, which is a black thing. It may be commercialized now, but hip hop is a black thing. Started from the urban community from New York and then spread worldwide. So I ain't never gonna get no motherfucking cracker, no pass about saying nigga and monkey, because he didn't just say nigga. It wasn't like he was just hanging with the boys and he just lost his mind or something. He hanging with the crowd and just saying nigga because all of them saying nigga too. No, it wasn't that. It was a racial diatribe. It wasn't just one comment. It wasn't just one song. It wasn't just one weakness or one breakdown of his.
Now remember, this was an hour-long tape. It had a whole bunch of songs on there. And Benzino listened to all of those songs. So you can't tell him to unhear what he heard, even though the court said he was only able to use less than a minute of what he heard.
Psychological thing, he was on that. Anybody saying it is fair or it's understandable for him to went off on that kind of shit, that was in his mind, bro. And if he doesn't, if that wasn't a part, people say, well, that's not Eminem, that's not the Eminem I know. Yeah, It's you're telling Eminem, you listen, man, all white people on this planet, they know if they really want to get under black people's skin, whether they do it or not, they know all they gotta do is go into the racial bag, bro. And the racial bag is what it is. You black, you ugly, you unintelligent, you a nigger, you a dirty, and you look like a monkey. That's the same shit the Ku Klux Klan say. So it's not like he was unaware of it. It's not like he has no clue about how hurtful the things that he was saying was. It is what the fuck it is, man. And once again, this segment is sponsored by Area 51 Hookah and Tobacco Bar, bruh. Up there in Mount Clemens, Michigan, man. 171 northbound Gratiot Avenue, Mount Clemens, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all go check in, tap in with them boys. They got that deal. Shout out to my man Juan. Shout out to Jones. Shout out to my man D. Y'all know what it is. Eminem, I've been aware of these situations. I've been saying, and that's just a part of what I'm saying. I don't think that anybody needs to come to Eminem's defense. I think because Benzino mentioned Vez by name, Vez had the right to chime in about it. He had the right. Now, I stand up for Vez. It's a real nigga shit that you were willing to kind of like speak up on Eminem's behalf, right? And or just kind of like let Benzino know, hey, listen, bro, don't use me in your attack on Eminem because Eminem is from Detroit and I'm from Detroit. So don't use me. It's cool about what you're saying. I don't think Vez was saying that Benzino was wrong. He couldn't have been saying that because he's not wrong, right? He said a bunch of different shit in the song, but as it specifically relates to him talking about black people and calling us niggas and monkeys, can't stand on that, man. So for all you motherfuckers who rush in to defend Eminem, right? If you have nothing to do with it, he mentioned Vez. Vez is a part of this equation. By proxy, he put Vez in it. But all you other rappers who weighing in, all you other commentators who weighing in, just trying to jump on the bandwagon in the defense of Eminem just because it sounds cute, how you gonna defend him calling the black women monkeys and dirty whores and niggers and unintelligent and saying they're dirty compared to white girls? How you gonna defend that when your mama is black? So I need you motherfuckers to be careful about how y'all weighing in on this topic because let Eminem defend his motherfucking self. If I was
Hey, and now there he got a point, right? There he got a point. So all of these people that get to talking about ghostwriting and all of this and rap supposed to be a one-on-one sport, ain't none of them said a damn thing about all of these other people that's coming out speaking in his defense. Oh, you ain't got to say nothing. We'll take care of this for you, you know? And like I said before, I don't have a beef with Eminem now. You know, he's listed, he's a great rapper. You know, he's capable of holding his own. You know, Benzino was the one that was a subpar rapper. Benzino was the one that would be considered a handicap if you look at him in terms of the rapping skills of Eminem. So Eminem is the bully in this case. And so everybody want to ride on the jock of the bully, which I don't really get, but I do get. You know, as far as Vez, like I said before in the first video, you know, Vez pretty much coming from an angle of, you know, this Detroit versus everybody or whatever, you know, keep me out of that, you know, don't mention my name. But in fairness, Vez, when you said what you said about Eminem, you didn't say it just in Detroit. You said it on a platform that everybody can see and that was exposed to everybody. So that means that you made it public consumption for everybody to use. Now, come on now.
was Vegas, I wouldn't say the motherfucking thing. I would just sit back. I would have tuned out on this shit. I wouldn't have said shit if I was Vegas. If I was Snap Dog, I wouldn't have said a motherfucking thing about it. I would let Eminem defend himself, or I would let Eminem's posse, like they've been doing, defend him against the attacks of Benzino. I wouldn't have said a motherfucking thing on behalf. I would do just what he doing to y'all. Say nothing, do nothing, let y'all wonder and figure this shit out on your own. Eminem don't need you motherfuckers to defend him on nothing. He knows how to defend himself.
All right. So there we got it. We got Dawg Face that then chimed in, and I'm curious, man. I'm curious as to what people think. Now, I sat up and I listened. Of course, I listened to the song. What was it called? Benzino or something like that. And I looked at all of these YouTubers that was really going hard at Benzino, talking about this supposed to be a one-on-one sport. You ain't supposed to have nobody helping you. You supposed to be writing the lyrics yourself. The same ones, that when Eminem was going at Nick Cannon, who is not a rapper like that. He's a comedian. But when people was going at Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon end up getting battle rappers to come in there and to go on a song with him, and then you had all of these other people that was coming out with songs when Eminem didn't respond to the battle rappers that Nick Cannon had on his diss track. You had all of these people making songs in behalf of Eminem, and none of this outrage was there. You know, and that's where my issue is. I don't have an issue with battle rap being a team sport. I remember when battle rap was a team sport. When Roxanne Shante was going at UTFO, battle rap was a team sport. When Ice Cube and NWA was going at each other, battle rap was a team sport. When NWA was going at Death Row, battle rap was a team sport. When Ice Cube and Mac 10 was going at Cypress Hill, battle rap was a team sport. So don't tell me that battle rap ain't never been a team sport. Like, I ain't been inside of rap over 40 years. I remember when they were saying that rap was only gonna be around for a couple of years. I remember when people was getting pulled over by the police for being in a circle because somebody was out there rapping. Don't talk to me like I'm a 90s baby. Don't talk to me like I'm an 80s baby. Talk to me like I've been here when this thing started. Don't talk to me like talking about people ain't had ghostwriters or people writing for them when I know that Biggie was writing for Lil Kim. Don't talk to me talking about people ain't had nobody writing for them when I know that Ice Cube was writing for NWA. You know, come on now. You got to come with something better than that. You have to come with something better than that. You know. So this whole thing, and I do have a correction to make, because I said that in 1986 YBI wasn't in Detroit, so Benzino couldn't have been. That was Cap. I called that as Cap and being in there. So I end up talking to who y'all know as Kurt McGirt, right? And I just wanted to confirm some stuff, and he did confirm that, although he was gone and a lot of the other ones was gone, they still had part of the people that was labeled at YBI that was actually making moves in Boston at that time. And so it is possible that he could have came back to the city, with them, but they wasn't running the city at that time. They was in Boston, they was doing their thing in Massachusetts. So it's possible, although he didn't say that he knew Benzino and that he didn't validate that being that what Van Benzino was saying was true, but he did say that it was possible because some of the people that was affiliated with Young Boys Incorporated was in Boston in 1986. And so that definitely is possible, and I stand corrected on that particular term. But let's get back to this. Now, I want to ask, what and I'm about to bring somebody on stage. I'm gonna put in fact, I'm gonna put the link up in the comments, and shortly I'll bring somebody on stage to have this discussion, you know, about one is when you talk about battle rap, is ghostwriters off limit in battle rap? And if so, when did that rule come out? And who determines what the rules are for battle rap? And two, is race off limits in battle rap? You see, when you talking about when you go back to battle rap, when you go back to with Roxanne Shante, now with Roxanne Shante, you going back almost to the beginning of battle rap. You know, people talk about Nicki Minaj, they talk about all of these other people, but when it comes to female MCs, Roxanne Shante was the master. Roxanne Shante was the first queen of that rap right there, you know. And so when Roxanne Shante came out, Roxanne Shante was going at the fellas. She was 14 years old. She was writing her own rhymes, and they sounded like rap was at that time. Here's the thing that people don't understand. Uh, a midget standing on the shoulders of a giant can reach higher than a giant, right? And so everybody that participated in rap in the early stages, the people that came on after them got a chance to refine their skills. And so rap is getting better and better and better and better and better. But never mistake that when rap came out, rap was speaking, it was the voice of the people that was oppressed. And so it's really ironic that the whole thing that got the internet in a frenzy, other than Cat Williams, because Cat Williams started this year off with a bang, But the whole thing that got the year off in a frenzy started off with, this the response that came with this rap Elvis. Now take a look at Elvis, who, and mindful that Eminem is someone who compared himself to Elvis. He called himself the Elvis of rap, but it wasn't no outrage when he called himself the Elvis of rap. It was an outrage when Benzino called him the Elvis of rap, right? Now, you got people that say that rap, you can't throw race into it. Why not? That is a reality. Here's the reality. I got some stats for you. Here's the reality. The population of the United States of America is roughly around 332 million people. Out of that 332 million people, 41.6 million people is classified as black or non-white. And then you have 231.9, which is 232 million, that's white. So if you take rap and hip hop being in public consumption, but it's mainly just black people that's rapping and all of this and that. You got more Caucasians in this country than you do so-called black people. And so the youth Caucasians is consuming the music. Why would you think that when somebody that looked like them, that identified with them, that came from the places that they came with, entered into that craft, that they wouldn't get the support, that they wouldn't have an advantage? Because you got the people that's the biggest consumers, because they are the biggest numbers, the largest numbers right here. And so don't say that race doesn't play a part. Race does play a part. It doesn't mean that it's playing a part in a malicious type of way, but it's playing a part in a realistic type of way. It's playing a part in a realistic type of way. You see? And so when to speak on that, like I said before, it's just like a person is short, or a person is fat, or a person come from this place, or a person got a list, or a person got a big head. Whatever it is that you point out is fair game in battle rap, because battle rap is what it is because it never had any rules. Battle rap is what it is because it never had any rules. And now all of these people that come up, I've been looking at these. I've been looking at these posts, right? I've been listening to what these people saying on their responses, and they coming up with this whole ideology of what the rules for rap is. I'm like, who the hell made you the goddamn ruler of or the goddamn manager to determine what the rules of rap is? And they come on there and they say, well, I'm a writer. I do writing and all of this. Listen, I don't care if you write. You have people that write and you have people that perform and you have people that both write and perform. And so what's been going on right now is what was going on during the time of Elvis. During the time of Elvis, you had content creators that was called artists, that who were writers, who performed the songs, and then Elvis emulated the songs that was performed. His face was put on there. He was given those songs, and they was not given any credit for those songs, and so they were the ghost writers of their time. And this was during your rock stages. This was before the hip hop stage. The same thing happened in jazz. The same thing happened in all of these forms of expression. So why would it not be fair game to point this out? You know, did that mean that we saying, okay, it's time to go and cancel Eminem? No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't have no beef with Eminem. He from the city. He represent the city. Well, he from Warren. He represent the city. You know, Warren is cool. Warren is right there. And here's something for all of these other people. You got all of these other people that's coming over there talking about, well, Warren is right on the border. You could throw a football from Warren to Detroit. I don't give a damn if you could throw a basketball from Warren to Detroit. If Warren has a different mayor, if it is in a different county, then that means that it is a different place. Simple as that. It's not saying that it's a bad thing. It's not saying that it's a good thing. It's saying that it is a factual thing. You know? And so just because you stay on the border or something don't mean that you have the experience of that place that you stay on the border of. You better look up Coleman Young. When you look up Coleman Young, then you will see what Warren was. You will see what the history of that was. So when Eminem made that, he was 15 years old, had not yet experienced the world, was a product of his environment. I understand that, being that I was wild and off the chain at the age of 15, like I said before. I'm not trying to condemn nobody for what they did at the age of 15. But we're not going to act like it doesn't freaking exist. That's what we're not going to do. You see? And so, you know, and here's the thing. You may say, oh, he's going into the race thing. He's speaking about race. Oh, he's woke. That's the new term that they're talking about now. Woke. And it's not a new term. It's in the recent years when they call somebody woke. When they want to talk about history, they say, oh, he's woke. When they want to talk about the systemic racism, they say, oh, he's woke. When they want to talk about the miseducation inside of the public school system, the criticism is he's woke, which means that you're saying that instead of being awakened, he's supposed to stay asleep. She's supposed to stay asleep. What the hell are you working out of? And then you have all of these people that's coming around that's supporting that same ideology, that's supporting that same thought, you know, that a person is penalized because they are becoming conscious. A person is penalized because they are becoming aware. A person is penalized because they are awakening to the reality that exists inside of them. Nikki Haley. This is what some of you YouTubers are. Nikki Haley. This is what some of you content creators are. Nikki Haley. Y'all have the audacity to get up there and say that, oh, well, yeah, we know that race was once a thing, but we're trying to get above that. We're trying to get beyond that. So why are you talking about that? Because it is interwoven inside of the history and the present reality of this country. And it is not the greatest discrimination right now. To me, the greatest discrimination is against people that have felonies because they are literally considered slaves up under the 13th Amendment. But that does not mean that race isn't an issue because it's camouflaged better, it looks better, and people are not restricted by it as much. And because we have this reality, that don't mean that you're supposed to ignore it because you made advancements. They reduce the genocide of a people. Maybe we should use the modern term for it. Stop calling it slavery and call it the genocide of a people. Slavery is just an instrument that was used to conduct this genocide of a people. Slavery was just an instrument that was used to conduct the genocide of a people, and you have no right to tell somebody how they should think about that. You have no right to tell somebody how they should interpret that, how they should internalize that, and how they should express that. It is what it is. It's a part of the reality. It's a part of the fabric of this country. And who the hell are you to tell them to get over it when the effects of it is still existing? Oh, you don't think the effects of it is still existing? Go and ask them to speak in their native tongue. Oh, you don't think the effects of it still exist? Go and ask them to practice their native religion. Oh, you don't think the facts of it still exist? Go and ask them to practice their native culture. Listen, man, this is rap beef. Let it stay at rap beef. Now, here's another thing. I've been watching all of these responses from these people that's coming on here. You know, they responding to Benzino, right? And listen, I'm not gonna lie. And watching all of these YouTubers respond to that, all of these stan YouTubers respond to that, it's been like watching YouTube porn. That's the only thing that I can think of to describe it. It's been like watching YouTube porn. It looks like they are holding dude thing and he just busting in their face and they just happy with it with the microphone. They like, ooh, look at him, get him. You just said that battle rap's supposed to be a one-on-one. Now you have a full turn. You just said that battle rap's supposed to be a one-on-one. Now you have a full turn. I don't get that. I don't get that. No, I don't get that at all. You know, when you say that, now, first of all, I have no problem with the people that respond because now somebody else got a chance to make money. And that's what battle rapping do. Battle rap put you in the spotlight and give you a chance to make money. I don't have no issue with Eminem dissing Benzino. I don't have no issue with Benzino getting help to come back and go at Eminem. This is all in the cycle of making money. This is all in a cycle of giving the people an opportunity to get out of their present condition and to improve their condition. So the Benzino, I like how Benzino responded to it. He said, I hope you get your bread for it, but I ain't about to respond to you. I'm responding to the person that came at me. I hope you get your bread for that song. That was real. That was 100. So now let's go back. Let's recap. We got ghostwriters, or people that's called ghostwriters, that need to be allowed to come up out of the closet. Y'all let everybody come up out of the closet except for artists that write for performers. This is what they did. This is what they did during the time of Elvis. They didn't allow the writers that made song for the performers to come out. And so you got all these people that come out. Well, when you're talking about battle rap, okay, refute the Easy E not writing his own raps when he battled against Death Row. Refute Easy E not writing his own raps when they battled against Ice Cube. Refute Lil Kim not writing her own raps all of her own raps when she battled against Foxy Brown. Refute JJ Fad not writing their own raps when they battled against Roxanne Shante. Not all of their own raps. Refute. And surely the people that write their own raps and perform their own raps, they are put on a certain stratosphere. That is a very admired talent. But why y'all trying to stop people that write from getting the bag, and y'all only trying to stop the people that write in hip hop from getting the bag? It was a guy named Gemini Ramona OG from Flint, Michigan, who did over 30 years, but during the time that he was locked up, he wrote for a group called the Dayton Family, which became the first really, really, really big group out of the state of Michigan. They was from Flint, Michigan. And he wrote a lot of stuff on that album, and I believe if they didn't win a Grammy, they came close to winning the Grammy, but he did that while he was incarcerated. But because of the stigma that people continue to put on these type of content creators, he doesn't get that credit. Something is happening. Why is y'all still letting it be taboo? I mean, it's not like it's something that's new. You think the rapping Duke wrote all of his raps? Kumo D and LL Cool J. LL might have wrote all of his raps. He was a writer and he was a performer. Drake is a writer and Drake is a performer, but Drake still admits to using help to help somebody else at different times inside of his lyrics. See, y'all the ones that the reason why people like Quentin Miller don't really have a career that he should have it, because y'all make it a sin for somebody to utilize writers in their artistic delivery. That's it, y'all. That's all I got. That's all I got. Until next time, this is what it is. Gangster astrology and rap beat. Deuces.